Hi, Chris here with the Chuwi Vi7. So I've had a little time on now with the tablet, been running it through a couple of benchmarks and just to get an overall impression of what kind of performance it has. It is definitely quite a bit faster in terms of GPU power than the Teclast X70. I found overall that the ROM's been quite good. This is Android 5.1.1, so very recent version of Android at the time of recording this video here. And I haven't had too many hiccups or stutters. The occasional kind of one here and there, but overall performance it has definitely been better than the Teclast X70, which runs a slower GPU and slightly slower system on a chip. This has the Atom X3 in it, and this is the C3231, and the Teclast X70 has the C3130, so slightly different model, slightly slower. Overall, not too bad here. Now I'll show you some benchmark results. Now I tested out Geekbench 3, and the score here I'll show you is a bit higher than the Teclast X70. Now the X70 got 590, this is 860 on the multi-core score there, but it's still quite slow when you compare this to the Atom Z37 35F or the 36F. Those are quad-core CPUs, and they get around about 2,000 and something points there, and this between 700 and 800 on the single-core score there. So it is a little bit slower, quite a bit slower actually, but it's running a low-resolution screen. It's 1024 by 600, and the screen's not wonderfully sharp. The colors are okay. The brightness could be better. I've got it turned down a little bit here for the video. That is full brightness here at the moment. And I'll just show you this colorful desktop here. So that's full brightness. It's okay. Ideally, you'd like it to be as bright as possible if you're going to be using it outdoors, because it can double as a phone. It does have a dual SIM card slot. And right now I'm just running actually on 3G here. Now I will show you the wireless speeds and the 3G speeds that I can get over on my current network. Here are the speeds right here that I managed to get. So this is my wireless network here. I managed to get 20 megabits per second download and almost 7 up, and almost 10 over 3G, which isn't bad at all. That's quite a high score considering it's not the full spec 3G. It's a step down from that, and almost 2 megabits per second upload there. Again, that's pretty good. That's faster than the Teclast X70, which got around 5 or 6, so a bit faster there too. And other scores I can show you, this is Epic Citadel score. So 37 frames per second average. This is okay, considering it's a lower resolution there, and it's not too bad. So the Mali 450 is definitely a lot better than the Mali 400 GPU. And then Antutu ranking, 26,000, is definitely a lot higher than the other chipset I saw that was running in the Teclast X70. That only gets 16,000, and this is 26,000, so it's a good 10,000 points faster there. Higher score, but that's due to the GPU, because it is quite a bit better there. And you've got 200 megahertz more on each core, which does help a little bit there. So that is the benchmarks there. Now, overall, the ROM seems pretty decent. There's no bloat. I could actually uninstall all the 5 or so Chinese applications that were there on the ROM. I've now been able to remove those, and didn't need root or anything like that to have to remove the applications. So it's pretty much very bloat free. The fact that you can uninstall those ones, and there's only 4, so it's not too bad at all. So as I mentioned, it's running Android 5.1.1, and that's definitely a step up from Android 4.4.4 that the X70 is running. So the ROM overall seems pretty good. The speed within a browser doesn't seem too bad at all. Just going to load up here some BBC. And the typing experience on the Android 5 keyboard is a little bit better, I find, than the Android 4. Seems a little easier to type on. Now, 7-inch device, man, it's not as easy to type on as, say, a 9.7-inch 4x3. The Retina screens, that's not too bad here. So Overall, there's a little bit of stutter there, but this is BBC's loading in a lot of videos here. And this is going over the 3G network, and it's taking a while for them to load in. So if I go to Tech Tablet's website here, let's load that up now, and see how fast that runs on it. Now the Tech Tablet's website did actually completely bring the X70 to a grinding halt almost. It had a lot of lag. So let's see how the Chuwi Vi7 fares running the website. So that loaded in reasonably quick there. Now I've just gone to click onto the actual main page, the home page. There's a few images on there, but overall it's scrolling quite fast, but the images haven't loaded in just yet. But I mean, at least it's not completely stuttering like it did on the X70. That's overall quite good there. I'll just go to one of the posts here about the Teclast X70 Pro. See how that loads in. Now the speaker on it does seem to be a little bit better than the X70. Now the X70, I've actually got that right here though. They're identical tablets. Physically identical, same screens. I will have a comparison of both of these in another video if you are interested. But yeah, they look exactly the same. You can see there. But they do have the different hardware. And in terms of hardware, it seems that the Chuwi one is definitely a lot faster. So how does that go? Scrolling on that. Not too bad at all. It's not grinding to a halt. So you get a nice task manager too with Android 5 that you can use. Switching apps. Go back into the gallery. Overall performance and the screen, the touch sensitivity seems good. It's responsive. And now and then I've had a couple of tiny little stutters, but it's not too bad. Now FM radio, I checked that out. That does work fine. There's no problems with that. Play Store, of course, is working. And the overall ROM is nice, yeah. So I'm just going to show you quickly Asphalt 8 here. Hopefully I can get that to load up and run a bit of that. So you can see that you can play a few games on this. Now don't expect any kind of super performance. Remember, this is a $58 tablet, so it's not a powerhouse or anything like that. It's definitely asking me to switch over to, no, I don't want to do that. Carrier network at the moment. And you can probably see in the video that the screen probably looks alright, but when you do look closer at it, yeah, you will see some of those pixels because of the lower screen resolution. But overall, it's not too bad. Now, Chuwi did put this anti-glare screen protector on it, which does kind of make things look a little grainy. Now, I can, of course, remove that. You can probably see here, you can see there's the gap there for the front-facing camera. You can see there that where the screen protector is, it's got that kind of a grainy look to it. Now, it is anti-glare, so might hold up a little bit better in sunshine. There's the keyboard. So a bit of lag there to bring up the keyboard. That's right, I'm 55 years old. So the speakers should be at maximum here. So it sounds a little bit better, actually quite a bit better than the Teclast X70. Just get into a game. No tutorial, thank you. Okay, so hopefully that little bit of music there didn't give me any copyright problems in the video, so I have to mute the audio. Hopefully not. Okay, so I'll just turn it up a little bit. Not loud enough though, so I'm going to get any issues, copyright. Now do notice that it does get warm right in this area here. There's quite a bit of heat that builds up when you do benchmarks and gaming right here on the plastic mat. It gets quite warm in this area, so that's obviously where the actual system on a chip must be, about there. So that's where the heat's coming from. And it's still loading there. There we go. So that's very smooth to start with anyway. Have a look how it runs. Ooh, a bit of lag there. Okay. Definitely seems playable, but it's not the most fluid GPU playing this game, but the Mali 450 is keeping up. So you can do a little bit of gaming on the go. Now, call quality on the tablet I found to be fine, no complaints. It seems to be, runs fine. I've been using my Vodafone SIM card, and I did put another one in there that used dual SIM, and that worked without any issues. And as I said, you've seen that 3G works. Now that's on the 2100 megahertz band here for me in Spain, and it's working without any problems. You'll need to probably check with your carrier to see if it supports that. Okay, so let's get out of this. Kill off all those background applications there. So you've got a few standard applications. Now the email, got Play Store, so you can install Gmail if you later want that. Messengers there. So full phone, full tablet kind of functions here. And 3D Mark, I will just run that. And we'll have a look at the score. Haven't actually run this yet. Just notice it is getting quite warm after that game there, so could actually affect the score because it's getting quite warm. It's definitely very slow to load. It's taking a while to load in there. Okay, so I'm going to run the benchmark, but I will pause the video so we don't have to sit through the whole thing. I need to install it as well. I'll show you the score in just a second. And here is the Ice Storm Extreme score. Now that's about half of what the Atom Bay Trails get that are normally in the Chinese tablets that I've been reviewing. So it's only got 2 cores in it, so it's, you know, a kind of normal kind of score there, half. So it's no powerhouse, so keep that in mind. Alright, so that's just an overall quick look and a quick review here of the Chuwi Vi7, which is very similar to the Teclast X70, but it is definitely quite a bit faster, but definitely no powerhouse. And keep in mind that the front-facing camera's VGA, the rear is 2 megapixels, not very good cameras at all, and the screen is not a Retina display, but you get what you pay for. It is a cheap tablet that if you want something just as a quick throw-around tablet that you can use to look at internet, play a couple of light games on, then maybe this is something you're after, or maybe a gift for some kids or something, then that's the kind of tablet it is really. Just a cheap one. But people who also want to make phone calls and make use of a 3G SIM card, then you've got that option as well. So you do have a few options, GPS too, so bear that in mind. That don't expect too much from these kind of tablets, is really what I'm trying to say. But overall, you can see that you can play games on, you can look at the internet, and you can do a few things. So they're not entirely useless there. Okay, so thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.